In a Security Council session on the situation in Gaza, Rosemary DiCarlo, the Secretary General for Political and Peace-Building Affairs, called for accountability on all sides, stating all perpetrators of violence, Israel or Palestine, must be held accountable. DiCarlo stressed that the importance of rejecting the status quo in Jerusalem holy site, warning that this situation is moving further from a viable two-state solution. Our reporter Samson Cham tells us more of that in this report.
Gaza's health ministry has said Israel is hindering the delivery of polio vaccines as its military refuses to coordinate the entry of medical teams in southern Gaza. This all comes amid the ongoing Israel aerial and ground attacks and deaths were reported in Gaza City and several refuge camps. However, Director of Operations at the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, Edine Watsonour, highlighted the success of the emergency polio vaccination campaign with over 187,000 children immunized. Watsonour also emphasized that humanitarian conditions remain dire, particularly in Gaza's water and sanitation services.
The Senior Humanitarian and Reconstruction Coordinator met with the highest government levels of the government of Israel yesterday on humanitarian concerns, including the importance of the polio campaign. According to World Health Organization, over 187,000 children under the age of 10 have been vaccinated in the first phase of the campaign, towards the goal of reaching more than 640,000 children in the coming period. UNRWA is playing a vital role, including with over 200 teams operating in its clinics and health points.
Israeli human rights activist Yulia Novak said the Israeli government exploits the trauma of the October 7 Hamas-led attack to intensify its control over Palestine territories. She warned of a broader ideological agenda behind Israel's action in Gaza, which has included exploitation, starvation, and destructions. Meanwhile, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, the United Nations ambassador to the United Nations, condemned Hamas' recent execution of 6 hostages, stating it calls into question the sincerity of Hamas negotiators. She further described Hamas as a terrorist organization and called on the Council to take a strong stance against their actions. She also emphasizes U.S. efforts to secure the release of Americans and other hostages.
The 6 hostages killed this weekend were executed at the same time negotiators were discussing the names of individuals to be released in a ceasefire deal. It calls into question the sincerity of Hamas negotiators, and it reveals yet again the ugly truth about the vile, depraved ideology that Hamas represents. From its massacre of 1,200 people to its weaponization of sexual violence, these latest murders confirm that Hamas is a terrorist organization. I know some members of this council won't acknowledge that, but that's the simple truth. No member of this council would tolerate their citizens being taken hostage and murdered, not a single one of us. The United States strongly condemns Hamas's brutality. It is long, long past time this council do the same.
Among other things, Russia's Dmitry Polyansky retracted calls for an immediate ceasefire, condemning the killing of hostages, including Russian citizens, while Palestinian Representative Riyad Mansour denounced Israeli military actions in the West Bank. Speaking to reporters ahead of the Security Council, Israel's Ambassador Danny Dunnan urged the Council members to condemn Hamas and designate it as a terrorist organization. Reporting for Africa News,